Oh, hello. I haven't seen you forever. Hi, beautiful writers. Today we're going to discuss a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and that is talking to other people. On rare occasions, writers do have to leave their writing den and talk to other people. And they have questions. Lots of questions about our writing. And it's that season. There's going to be parties, maybe really small parties this year, but some get togethers or at least Zoom get togethers. And people might ask about your writing. So I found that there are 6 general questions that people that you meet ask you. So we're going to go through each one because honestly, it took me a little bit of time to figure out how to answer them. So here we go. We've got some author cocktail time talk. But before we get started, you know what I have to do. I have to say, please subscribe and click that notify button. And if you've already subscribed, thank you so much and welcome back. When we go to functions and we see our friends or acquaintances, people we haven't seen for a long time, they generally like you, right? I hope. And most of their questions are pretty innocent. I mean, it's just cocktail small talk, right? Maybe they even buy your books. Now that's a good friend. I found that in the beginning, I launched into too long of a reply. Their eyes would glaze over, despite the alcohol. So I actually learned to make it really quick, really narrow, really focused, and move along. The first most often question that I get asked is, how's your novel coming along? We want to go, yeah, oh, my heart, my soul, the bleeding of my eyes. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. I say, great, thanks. I'm on the 5th draft right now. How is your add their hobby here? Bam, done. Question number 2 I get asked all the time. What's your book about? This is a great question. I'm gonna have a little drink here. Right. Get in the mood. I love this question. I used to hate it, but then I realized this is my elevator pitch. And once I realized it was an elevator pitch, I doubled down on making sure my elevator pitch, that 1-sentence pitch, rocked. Because when I told them what my novel was about in 1 sentence, and they went, oh, like genuinely, I was like, yeah. They went, yeah, I got to work on that. So think of that, what is your novel about question as an opportunity to fine tune your 1-sentence pitch. Here's an example of one for a book you may or may not know. A young Kansas teenager battles a diabolical shoe-stealing witch. Wizard of Oz? You're right. Question number 3. Where do you get your ideas? Non-writers really, really want to know this. Like, my husband wants to really, really know this. I don't really have an answer. Like, everywhere. Things come to me. I could be like Mary Shelley. She said she went to sleep and dreamed Frankenstein. Yeah, that's never happened to me. We mostly get ideas from everything. A TV show, an article, other books that we read, art. I mean, everything. But non-writers don't like that answer. The trick is to give them a glimpse without freaking them out. Dark voices speak to me. I say, you know what? I have no clue. Kind of everything. Things just pop into my head at random times. And then I smile. And then I ask them how their hobby is. Question 4, I get this all of the time. In fact, I need a drink. I need a drink for this one. I'm thinking about writing a memoir or a novel. Do you have any advice? I know what you're thinking. In our head, we're thinking, are you insane? Advice? You didn't even give me any specifics. Are you talking about publishing? What genre? What part are you doing? Like, what part of the writing process? There's just too much to know. Months, years worth of advice I could give you. Your question is ridiculous. Advice about what exactly? No, I don't want to say that because, that'll just piss them off. You know what I do say? I have lots of advice. Why don't you call me up and we'll schedule a coffee date or Zoom meeting and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. One, it gets you off the hook. And really, of all the people that have ever asked me that, I've only had one person ever call me and actually ask me specific questions. The phone call lasted about a half hour, and the author really didn't have that many questions. They were so very vague that it was very, very easy to answer them. And most of them, were things like, well, what should my word count be? What is your genre? And unless it was a genre that I work with, I'd be saying, I don't know. But if you Google it, you'll find your answer. If they ask me how should I start, I would tell them that there are lots of great books on writing and that they should probably pick one of those up, read it, and then begin. Oh, and I would also tell them to watch my YouTube channel. Question 5 is the inevitable. You get this all the time, I'm sure. Can I be in your next novel? My reply is always the same. Absolutely. How would you like to die? Then, because they're my friends, they laugh. But true story, I had a friend of a friend ask me that, and I actually did put him in a novel, kind of manipulated his name a little bit. And when he came up to me and he said, hey, how is your novel going? I said, I put you in my novel, and you die in the very first chapter, a horrible, horrible death. And he said, that's awesome! And he walked around the rest of the 3 hours of the partying saying, Autumn put me in her book, I get to die! So that was great because then everybody came up to me and wanted to know the name of the book. That's a win-win. The 6th and final question I get all the time, and I'm sure you do too. Why don't you turn your book into a movie? Oh. I mean, you really don't want to blast people who don't know that there's things called screenplays and script writers, and there's producing and financing and directing and casting and so many things I wouldn't even know. Here's what I do. If they have read my books, then I say, oh my gosh, that would be so much fun. Who do you think would be a good Elona or Locusta or any of the names of my characters? And then, hey, we have a fun conversation. But if they've never read any of my books, I say, that is a really great idea. Do you know anybody in the industry I can contact? Yeah, they don't. All of those answers were for friends who don't write. For the friends who write, you're going to give totally different answers. In fact, you're probably going to huddle up with a drink in the corner in some couch and discuss your soul and writing and all the troubles and problems until it's finally time to go, or somebody tells you have to do karaoke now. Otherwise, keep it short, keep it fun, and you can navigate that cocktail party. Now, writers, I want you to go out there and mingle like regular people. You can do this. You got this. Thanks everybody for watching. Once again, if you haven't already, I would love if you would hit subscribe and notify. Thank you so very, very much for watching. And remember, writers, dream, create, and embrace. Bye-bye. Thank you.